This video would provide an in-depth look at the legal mechanisms designed to combat price fixing. It would include a historical overview of landmark cases in price fixing, the role of legislation such as the Sherman Anti-Trust Act, and the consequences businesses face when engaging in such unethical practices. The narrative could be enriched with real-world examples detailing how regulatory bodies like the Federal Trade Commission and perhaps the Department of Justice identify and prosecute price-fixing schemes. In the grand theater of commerce, there exists a shadowy foe to fair play and competition, which is price-fixing. Today we embark on a legal odyssey to uncover the battles waged against the illegal practice. Join us as we delve into the mechanisms of law that stand guard against the collusion that threatens the very foundation of our market economies. Our journey begins over a century ago at the dawn of the Sherman Anti-Trust Act of the 1890s, a legal colossus enacted to dismantle the oppressive monopolies of the Gilded Age. This act, named after Senator John Sherman, became the sword with which the United States would strike at the heart of collusion. Price fixing, the dark art of manipulating the market by having competitors agree on sales prices, stifles competition and innovation as well. It's a direct violation of the Sherman Act, which prohibits business activities that reduce competition in the marketplace. Let's navigate through the annals of history to the landmark case of the United States versus Trenton Potteries. This is something happened in 1927. Here, the Supreme Court affirmed that price fixing, no matter how reasonably it is presented, constitutes a hard violation on the Sherman Act. This case set the precedent, reinforcing that the right to set prices must remain in the hands of consumers and the free market, not in the clutches of colluding oligopoly. Fast forward to the modern era, where the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice have taken up the mantle to protect market integrity. These regulatory titans use a combination of sophisticated economic analysis, undercover investigations, and the vigilant reporting of whistleblowers to identify and dismantle price fixing. Consider the case of Lizine price fixing conspiracy of the early 1990s, a real-world drama worthy of a cinematic thriller perhaps. Major companies were caught red-handed in an international scheme to fix the price of lysine, an essential amino acid used in animal feed. The scandal unraveled through recordings and the explosive testimony of turncoat executives. The consequences of such collusions are severe. Fines can reach into the hundreds of millions, executives can face prison time, and the reputational damage can be immense and irreparable. The lysine conspiracy alone resulted in fines exceeding $100 million and jail sentences for the executives involved. But the legal battles do not end in the courtroom. The aftermath of price-fixing cases often sees the birth of class action lawsuits, where affected customers seek redress for the financial harm inflicted upon them by the company and the artificial inflation of the prices. The legal framework against price fixing has also inspired global action. The European Union, through regulations like Articles 101 and 102 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the European Union, echoes the Sherman Act's sentiments, policing anti-competitive practices with equal determination. Yet, the war against price fixing is far from over. The digital age presents new battlegrounds. Online algorithms and artificial intelligence offer covert avenues for price manipulation, challenging regulatory action and requiring them to adapt and evolve. As we conclude this exploration, let us remember that the legal battles against price fixings are not just about laws and penalties. They're about preserving the spirit of innovation and the trust of consumers in the marketplace. May this journey through the legal landscape arm you with the knowledge to recognize and stand against the subtle tides of collusion. For in the vigilant defense of competition lies the protection of our market's integrity and the prosperity of society at large. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the legal battles against price fixing. Until our next intellectual expedition, may your market encounters be fair, competitive, and just. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, click the like button or consider subscribing to the channel. There will be more educational videos coming soon, so it would be very nice to have you around. Until next time, peace out.